So it's a chilly afternoon here in January. It's mid-January, and I wanted to take a moment to talk about broccoli. And one of the most common problems we find with growing broccoli here along the coastal region in Zone 9A, and that's going to be bolting. Or if we get a closer look here in just a second, you'll see the flowers here at the top, and we're not actually getting a head of broccoli. So let's take a look at some of the reasons of why that might be happening and how we can maybe prevent that in the future. So while the weather's pretty cool today, over the past several weeks we've experienced some pretty warm temperatures, usually into the lower 80s, and that can lead to some stress for broccoli plants. And that's the number one reason why we have bolting or we don't get heads form on our broccoli, and that's because the temperatures stay too warm in the cool season. It's January, so most places it's cold. Here, while it's cold today, it's not always that way. So we're getting a lot of heat stress, and so it's causing the broccoli to think that it's at the end of the season, and it's putting on flowers, getting ready to seed, and basically preserve itself by putting out seeds. So one of the other reasons we could experience our broccoli not forming heads could be from inconsistent moisture. And that definitely could have played a factor here as well. I've been really busy, so I oftentimes don't water as regularly as I should. So while these have gotten a fair amount of water and the plants have been pretty healthy, they could use a drink today, I can see. But overall, I just haven't watered consistently enough, and that can also lead to extra stress for your broccoli and cause it to bolt. Third reason we could be experiencing this issue be from just planting the wrong variety. You want to make sure that you have a variety that can handle somewhat warmer temperatures. And while I know I chose the right variety here, and that's not the issue, this can be a problem depending on what variety you've chosen if it's not commonly grown in your area. The last thing that could cause this problem to occur would be insufficient nitrogen or nutrients. Just like watering, I haven't done a very great job at supplemental feeding these plants. As we've gone through this roller coaster of temperatures, that leads the plant to maybe use up a lot more nutrients, and we need lots of nitrogen in our broccoli plants to help them grow bigger leaves, get a healthier, thicker stalk plant so that it can support the actual formation of the heads. Another possibility could be overcrowding. If we're planting our plants too close together, that could be an issue. And again, this could be a problem here in this specific bed because, as you can see, I do have really tight plantings here. And while I'm accustomed to doing that, but when I do plant things very closely together, I typically do more supplemental feeding throughout the growing season. That hasn't happened this year. So again, it could be one of the things causing this to happen. It could be a combination of all of these things, except knowing that I have a good variety for my area. So overall, if you're having problems getting your broccoli to form heads, first look at the season to make sure the temperatures have been cool enough and that heat stress might not be the issue. And if possible, try to research and find some varieties that are going to be more tolerant to heat. Next, make sure you're doing consistent deep watering and also consistent feeding. Lastly, make sure that you don't have overcrowding, and if you do overcrowd, have a clear understanding that plants that are close together are competing for nutrients and you may need to supplement more. So I hope you've gotten some great tips today on a common issue, growing broccoli. And if you found some value out of this content, please consider liking and subscribing this video, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.